right. Hey, welcome to our Thursday webinar. And today we're talking about using social media in marketing to generate business. And we always, the last month theme has really been from the slide you're looking at right now, the Grant Cardone Marketing Execution Workshop, which both my business partner, the infamous 10X Glenn, and myself are Cardone licensees. And what's going on, Glenn? How are you today, sir?
I'm doing amazing, man. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? Always happy to be here and provide knowledge for the people that are here so they can go ahead and take these tools and strategies and go blow up their business.
Amen, boss. Amen. Well, let's do this. We'll just get right into it today, and we'll start off with some bios, some just introductions, and we'll have you get started, Glenn. Let me pop up your bio for you, but if you want to just start telling people exactly who you are.
Let's do it. You know, my name is Glenn. I am a Grant Cardone licensee, also one of the 20 or 21 10X Elite Coach and Mentors. Also, I own a digital marketing agency in the one that we help business owners avoid years of mistakes and thousands of wasted of dollars, allowing you as a business owner rapidly expand your business. How about you, David?
Yeah, man. Well, you know, I help salespeople, business owners, entrepreneurs market better, make more money, close more sales, and live better lives, brother. And I've been doing it for a long time. I'm a Cardone 10X coach, just like you, 40 years in outbound sales. And I've spent the last 2 years of my life literally obsessing about marketing, like obsessing about becoming a marketer. I was also a trainer for Keller Williams for a long time. Some of you guys know me from my KW days. And man, I love doing this stuff. I've taught podcasts called Path to Mastery, as some of you guys know. And man, just love podcasting, love working with people, love helping people. And nothing better than when somebody does something with me or us, Glenn, and then after says, man, thank you, that was awesome. You guys over-delivered.
That's like the biggest commission, right? When you share something, somebody go ahead and implement it and they're successful at it. That's personally my biggest commission. So that's awesome. Let's do it.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump right into it today then. You know, why not just get right into it? So let me go back to here. And so what we're talking about today is, you know, the monetization map again. Okay, and this is from the Marketing Execution Workshop. And we're talking about marketing. And you know what's super funny, Glenn? This is gonna be you're gonna laugh. Is as I'm showing the wrong, I knew something wasn't lining up. Glenn. I'm showing the wrong presentation, bro. Here's the good news, though, Glenn. Here's the good news. I have the right one, so let me just pull it up. But you know what? Here's the even better news, Glenn. Is we've done this now. This is our 4th time doing this together. And it's the first time this has happened. So, you know, let me get the right presentation. While I'm doing that, man, tell everybody why marketing is so important, man.
You know, marketing is vital for your business because, you know, marketing is senior to sales. Marketing will make your sales process easier. It will build trust with your prospect, with your audience. People will identify with you and they will follow you based on what you're sharing in your marketing. So it's vital to have your story crafted and a very clear message. And we're going to get to that right now in this presentation today.
Yeah, you know, my takeaway, Glenn, is maybe all of our things shouldn't start with the same first slide because that, you know, it's like every week we have the same first slide, which is anyway, it's my fault. I take full responsibility. Okay, we already told you who we are. We told you what we do. We want to just let you know at the end, we're gonna create an offer for you. We have a workshop coming up April 11th and 12th online. It's going to be an absolute amazing opportunity for some of you guys. And so we want to make sure that we give you the opportunity to take advantage of that at the end. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is, again, it is the monetization map. But this is just a different format that we're talking about today. We're talking about not just building your social media, but building it to actually make money, right, Glenn? Like talking about like how do we make money with social media? Why is that important?
It is important. I mean, it's your business. These days, this time that we live in, I will say 95% of your prospects are in social media and they're online, places like Facebook, places like Instagram, Google Business, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat. I mean, there's customers and prospects all over the social media. I will say hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if not billions of them. They are online in the social media platforms.
Yeah, man, it's critical. And I love this quote right here from Grant. And he talks about clarity, right? And he says, if you're not completely clear on who you are and what you offer, then how can we ever expect the clients to be? And I feel like I see this mistake a lot, Glenn.
It happens. It happens a lot because, if you don't have a clear message and you don't know who's your audience, who are you targeting, Grant says, like, if you market to everyone, you market to no one. So you have to have that message and your audience very, very precise in order to reach that audience.
Yeah, I mean, we have to spend time on it, Glenn. And I think that's probably one of the things a lot of times where people are looking for shortcuts, right? And if you look at this on the left side of this slide, it shows your customer journey. And, it starts like right now, some of you might be on this webinar. You never even heard of us before seeing this webinar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you may not know us, or you may not even realize that there's an issue going on in your business or your industry right now. You just think, wow, things are a little bit slow. So what we need to do is we need to get your attention first, which is what Grant teaches us, right? Because money follows attention. And then once we have your attention, then we can make you aware of some of the things that are going on specifically and how we have the solution to the problem. And then what ends up happening as we continue to build more and more trust, people go further down the funnel, and then at the bottom of the funnel, they buy. I'll tell you the big mistake I made, Glenn, in the past is I tried to sell a lot of people top funnel, and they just weren't ready to buy yet. There was just no trust established, Glenn. And I know you talk about trust all the time. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I mean, you have to build a relationship. When you market yourself continuously on a daily basis, you continuously showing up 100%. You have a clear message. You're letting people know who you are. What is that you do? Who do you help? How do you learn it? And how can you do it for them? It touches multiple points on the process that it builds trust. So you have to touch those points in order to build a relationship with that lead. So you can walk them through that funnel, and then eventually right in the bottom, when they trust you and they need you and they know you can solve their problem, they'll buy from you.
Yeah, amen. All right, love it. So, and here's a myth, Glenn. People think that online advertising is super difficult, complicated. We talked about this earlier. What are your thoughts on this myth?
You know what? It could be difficult and complicated if you have the wrong information. That's when it gets difficult and complicated, because you get the wrong information, you go ahead and try to implement that wrong information. It doesn't work. It becomes difficult and it becomes complicated. You get frustrated, boom, you quit. Because you get no results because you have the wrong information. Today over here in this webinar, we're going to bring you the right information so you can easily go out there, implement the strategies, and get results.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, we are going to open it up for some questions. Yep. At the end. We got probably about another 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're gonna open it up for some questions for you guys. And the other thing, a myth, Glenn, is people think it has to be really expensive.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. And, people think like that because they've been getting the wrong information. But marketing, you have two ways to market. You got organic, which is free. All you got to do is put your time, your effort, your desire. And then you also have paid traffic. So you got two ways to advertise your business.
Yeah. Well, we like to talk about starting here. And this is a tool right here, because if you're not clear, like if you go back to that slide right here, if you're not clear on who you are and what you offer, how can your customer be? Now, the other thing I will add to that is you need to be clear on who your customer is. And I, if anytime someone says, Glenn, hey, what's the first step? I say first step, man, before even, no, that's not true. This is not, the first step is figure out who you are and what you do, your brand statement, what you're up to, what you're all about. That's first step. This is actually the second step that comes after that, which is also something we teach in the marketing execution workshop. But this, in my opinion, is that once you're clear, you're 100% clear, then, okay, who is my customer? Talk about why that's so important.
It's vital because, out of all the hundred thousands of people out there, you're able to narrow down into that funnel. Who is your audience? What problems do they have? What is their gender? What is their age? What are they interested on? What are they thinking about? You know what I mean? So by following these steps, you're going to narrow down and exclude everyone that is not needed to be on your funnel so you can serve them better.
Yeah, and also like the intention of this webinar is to do business from social media. So
Yeah.
I was looking at my ad spend the other day, and we've spent quite a bit of money, and I haven't gotten a lot of business. And I'm like, man, this is a waste. But I got to just remind myself that I'm learning, and it took me a while before I refined and knew who my client was. So now as I'm reaching the right people, I'm getting more subscribers. I'm getting more people reaching out to me, sending me messages, because now I'm reaching the right people.
Yeah.
So sometimes, for me, I mean, you can either go through the pain yourself and spend upwards of 20 grand on social media advertising and all that, or you can find some people that already know what they're doing and say, hey, help me build this out the right way first and save me, all those headaches.
Yeah.
So let's jump here because, you talk about this all the time, right? Building trust is really once you determine your avatar, then it's about building trust.
Absolutely. And the way that you build trust is, marketing yourself. Give them something for free, like we're doing right now. We're giving you a free webinar. You can do a free seminar. You have to operate with the mindset that you have to give so much value for free in order for people to start trusting you, trusting your business, trusting your persona, your professional look, so you have to give so much value that when the people get that value, they'll read it, they'll process it, they go implement what they learn, and it works. So that's how you start building trust. You have to build trust and give. What do you got on that thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, then it goes to the next step. Once you've built enough trust, then people will, they'll start off by maybe exchanging an email address for like this webinar as an example, right? Yep. Some people, I guess we have to do a better job of making sure people show up, because we had a lot of people show up, so we're missing. Yep. But that's on us, right? People exchange their email. So we did our job in a lot of ways, but we didn't get them on the webinar. So we have to look at that. However, they did give us their email addresses. So now we can still continue to pour into them, provide, valuable information, provide content, things like that. And then over time, we need to provide so much value that they're like, there's no way I could miss a webinar with these guys, right? Because we're starting to build a relationship.
And once you start building relationship, whether it's in a Zoom call, whether it's on the phone, text message, email, you start communicating with that lead, with that prospect, and answering questions that they might have. You got to provide more information for them in order to make a decision. So this is where the relationships start building, because they start reaching out to you. You reply to them. You provide more value to them. And eventually that relationship will turn into a finance relationship and an exchange from the lead. You build trust, you build a relationship, and then it will be an exchange of money for your services.
Yeah, that's the next step, right? It ends up going to revenue.
Yes, sir.
So in the chat, Glenn says, can you give me $100? All right, cool. So Rob's looking for $100. What do we got that we can sell Rob for $100 right now? You have like an ebook or something?
We can put him in our community. We can put him in our community. Let him try
unfortunately, not for $100, but yeah. But listen, we appreciate that question. We'll find out what that means once we get to the Q&A. But you know what just got me thinking about though, what you just said is, like a lot, like I was talking to a salesperson the other day and they were saying, hey, I'm sending out a lot of text and I'm getting good response via text. And I was like, well, how many conversations do you actually have? Well, the text seems to be working better, but I says, okay, how do you know? I said, well, because they're responding. Well, see, it's easy for people to respond via text, but I would challenge, like, how do you know is okay, how do you know is if they're actually going, showing up? Like if they agree to do something, but then they don't show up. But then when you have a conversation with somebody, now there's a little bit of a rapport built. There's a little bit of a relationship because now it's a two-way. One of the biggest mistakes I see in sales is a lot of salespeople now try to negotiate back and forth via text or SMS, and it ends up going nowhere because there's zero trust. There's zero relationship, right? And then what ends up happening because of it, there's no revenue. So
And
let's jump to the next step, Glenn.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, David, going back to what you just said, when you get into the phone with somebody or even in a call like this, you put a face to the voice, you put a face to the email, you put a voice to the text, you put a voice to the email, so people know that you're real. No, you're a real person, you're a professional, you're authentic, and you're willing to do whatever it takes in order to help that person solve their problems. And this is where it comes, you build fans. When people know that you're committed about your business and then you're committed on helping others solve their problems through your services, you will build fans. You will build people. Then you ask for referrals. You get reviews. You get Google reviews, Facebook reviews. You get post sales reviews. You get to offer referral programs, affiliate programs. What do you think about that, David?
Yeah, I think that's what happens, brother. Once you have fans, I think people want to, when people are fans of you, and we talk about this all the time. When Grant says, "I'd rather have a million followers, real followers, than $1 million," because when you have 1 million followers and they're willing to pull out their credit cards and they're willing to buy product from you because they trust you, you're going to make a lot more than $1 million. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's right on point, man. So let's jump to one of these tips because we want to give you guys a couple tips. This is one of the ones I learned from you, Glenn, when we first started working together a few months back. Talk to us about this. It's a spy hack.
Yeah, man, this is a spy hack. This is simply like when you have cleared the message of who you are, who do you help, and how do you help. You go through your audience, right? And now you're ready to deliver that message. The next thing you want to do is to find out who's the leader on your industry, right? And there's ways you could do this, but in this case, it's through Facebook. Okay, you go to Facebook, you go to the business page, and in the bottom left of that business page, there is a place that is called ad transparency, page transparency. And if they're running any ads, you could click there and you can see exactly what they're doing. You can see exactly what images they're using. You can see exactly what text that they're using. And most likely from that ad is going to take you into a funnel or a website. You want to go through that. Even if you have to pay a small amount of money to go through that funnel, you want to do that because you want to identify and see what they're doing successfully so you could grab that and mimic that to your business and then have the same success and same results. So that is a spy hack.
Yeah, and Russell Brunson calls this funnel hacking.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what
that's where that term came from.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what
like Sam knows. Sam. I'll send her a link to a funnel, and I'll say, "This is awesome, Sam. Like, let's create this." And she goes to work for me.
Yeah,
and we create it. And things that I love, things that are working, because I may actually love something, honestly, Glenn, and then it might not work. So we do have to make sure it's getting results as well, right? Just because I like something doesn't mean it works.
So going back to that right there, when you go and seeing what they're doing successfully, if you see they're running ads, just to give you an example, for 6 months, and for the past 6-7 months, that ad is running successfully, that tells me something. That tells me that whatever they're doing is working. So why not mimic their success and put it into your business? Yeah,
so smart. So let me jump to the next tip right here, which is the ultimate, the next tip, which is going to be one winning ad concept can change everything, but it's really about consistency here. And we have to make sure that all of our landing pages, all of our content, all of our messaging, everything's consistent. If you would have saw me 2.5 years ago, when before I got on Clubhouse, my every one of my channels was different. My LinkedIn was different than my Facebook, I didn't even have an Instagram. I mean, obviously we didn't have TikTok. My YouTube channel was just dragging along. Everyone had a different message. Now everything's consistent. We use the same colors, the same logos, the messaging, everything is super consistent. How important is this?
It's vital, because that's what you want to show. You want to show consistency. You want to show commitment. You want to show discipline. So when it says ad, not necessarily it has to be a paid ad. Okay, you could treat your organic traffic and your posting like you are actually doing ads. So when you go ahead and see what other people are doing and paying for it, you can make that organically with the same wording, with the same pictures and images, and then just take them through the whole process, through your funnels and websites.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's give them a couple examples of some of our, like, here's our funnel page. Probably everybody in here has seen this particular page we have. This, when you come here, there's only one thing you can do, right, Glenn? I mean, there's nothing, like, you come to this page, the only thing you can do is secure your seat in this webinar. That's it. Like, this is not complicated. The button is a different color than everything else. It stands out. Honestly, going forward, I think, Sam, we need to make sure that button's flashing. It should be flashing as well.
Yeah.
So again, but that's the only thing you can do. Let me give you another example. This is a funnel we built out for a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Again, they come here, you got the right title, how to sell your property in Houston for top dollar in spring 2023. You come here, there's one thing you can do. That's it. Get your free 21 steps book. Nothing else. You want access now. Once you give, again, we're exchanging email address for the tool that we're giving you. We're simplifying things for people. What happens is Glenn, I'm going to stop sharing for this, but I just want to speak to you and tell you that what happens is when people go to your site and there's all this stuff, all this fancy stuff, and there's this and this button, and they get confused. And when people are confused, when people don't have certainty, they don't do anything. What they do is they go somewhere else. So our goal is to create certainty and remove any confusion so that when people show up on our pages or our sites, they know there's one thing to do. It's super, super easy, and they will follow the right instructions.
Absolutely.
Anything else to add on that, Glenn?
No, just like you say, a confused mind, it will not take action. So a lot of these days, people build beautiful websites with a lot of information, and that's what websites are for, just to provide information. But then people go into your website, they'll spend 10 to 15 minutes, they'll see everything that you have, and once they got everything that they needed, they'll leave. So at that point, you ended up with no leads, with no appointments or anything. So this is the power of having landing pages and funnels, like strategies for you to collect that lead before they even go into your website.
Brilliant. All right, so here's another one of the let others do the experimentation for you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of you doing it, like I shared earlier, how I've spent upwards of close to 20 grand over the years on YouTube ads and Facebook ads and all this other stuff. They really didn't. It certainly didn't. Maybe I broke even if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, that's not even really a lot of money, which in reality, it was, but now it's not really a lot of money. We should be spending 20 grand a month. Okay.
Yep.
But the reality is now we can solve that problem, right? By doing some of the things that you shared earlier. So why don't you talk a little bit more about this, and then we'll jump into to a couple of examples of some content.
Yeah.
And then we'll open up the questions.
It goes back to the same point, like just see who's successful in your industry, in your county, in your city, and in your state. Because if they're having success right now, it's because they already went through a whole experimental route for them to get to get where they are. So So people see successful people and they're like, oh yeah, they got lucky. No, they went through a whole process of testing, failing, testing and failing, and now they're successful with their ads, with their marketing, with their landing pages, with their funnel. So if they are successful, they already spent all the time and money. So why not just skip and just grab that success right from the top and don't waste time, don't waste money. Just do what is proven to be successful. So this is that spy hack.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you to take a look again and at the slide. Let me put it back up, and you're going to notice there's a target on there. Now, what I see a mistake a lot of us make is we have the target set, and then all of a sudden, you know, we think we're moving towards it, and we find out we're not. So instead of just changing the goal, like the plan to get there, like the strategy, they change the target. Like I see this all too common. So we have to stay focused on the target and say, okay, I'm not changing. I'm committed 100%. I am 100% committed to the target. I'm just going to figure out how to change the plan. And I think that's what I recently started doing, Glenn. That's what you do as well, which is why we're becoming a lot more successful with doing this marketing. We're getting the results. You see it show up in the leads. You see it show up with people giving you credit cards, with all that. So anything else you want to talk about this before we jump into an example?
No, let's go for it.
All right. So let me share this with you. So this is an example I'm going to give you of, let me just pull this up right here. So this is, let me just transitioning a little bit. So stick with me. This is a video I did on my YouTube channel couple weeks ago. It's probably about 20 days now. I think it's about 15. I haven't even looked at the views. I think it was about 15. But this started off 1,000. This started off with a clip that was 41 seconds long, and it over like 3 days it did like 60 views or so. I mean, it's a pretty strong title, right? The 10 biggest follow-up mistakes, free ebook. You know, it's a short thing, promo for, you know, at the end, you get your free ebook. So it did nothing. So I took the same exact content, the exact same video, and I chopped out all the fat. I made it from a 41 second, again, the same exact content from 41 seconds to 19 seconds, and it did almost 10,000 views overnight. Like it just blew up. And why did that happen? Because YouTube loves when people watch your stuff. Like when people go all the way through, it's called watch time. It's one of the most important things. So we're giving you a little bit of a hack here when it comes to YouTube. So when you're creating content, go to my channel, by the way, David Hill Coach, and you can see the content we're creating. But one of the hacks is when you start your YouTube video, the title brings them there. Okay, so they already know the title. You don't need to tell them the title again, right? So if somebody comes to hey, here's the 3 top strategies for listing a home in Dallas, Texas. Well, don't start off, hi, my name's David. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming to the site. I'm going to give you today the top 3 strategies for selling your home. And no, they're done. The people are gone. They're like, I'm done. I have 0 patience for this. You just right into it. So strategy number 1, bang. Strategy number 2, strategy number 3. That's how people are doing the best right now with content. And then the channels, the algorithms see people are watching. Like if somebody watches your whole video, then YouTube will send it out to everybody. They go crazy with it, which is why shorts blow up as well. I know you have a short, Glenn, with like, what, 1 million views or something?
Right now, it has been probably a month and a half, and I have 4 point something. Last time I checked, it was 4 point something million views, something crazy. It keeps growing, but that's exactly what it is. We took a long message, we made it shorter, we made it very precise, right? And we ask for their thoughts, and that's when the power comes in. Because when you deliver in the message and then you ask them to give them their opinion on that same video, what that does when they're writing their opinion on the video, when they write in their comment, that video is looping in the back over and over and over. And what that tells the algorithm, it says, wow, this thing has 100% view rate. So they'll push it. And then that's how videos go viral like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And YouTube loves watch time, like view time. Like you can go into your studio, by the way. We're giving you a couple little hacks here,
Yep.
like bonus hacks on YouTube. Go into your studio and see those videos. Like what I learned, Alan taught us, like you think you have a 1 minute video, that should be a 25-second video.
Yep.
You have an 8 minute video, that should probably be a 2 minute video, right? If you really want it to work. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, there is definitely time and places for longer form content.
Yep.
But most of the content we're creating is not that. You have to, again, build trust first. Build your trust with the shorter form. Be consistent. Give them what they think they're coming for. There's nothing worse than clickbaity. Okay, like they think they're coming to get 10 follow-up mistakes, and then all of a sudden they click on it, and you're trying to sell them into a coaching program. They will never come to your channel again. So just remember that. I'm going to share a quick story with you, and then we're going to get into some questions. All right, so a few years back, I was selling real estate, and this was in 2012. I was an agent, and I picked up a couple of the banks, Wells Fargo, Chase banks. For some of you guys know, that was in the midst of the coming out of the what's it called, the foreclosures, all that crazy time we went through, like 2009, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And a property had come up. It was a bank-owned property, and I was the listing agent. And it was on the market for $240,000. It was a 4-unit property, 4, not 5, 4 units. And I got agreement from the bank as I was the agent. I talked to the asset manager. They had given me the agreement to buy the property myself for $240,000. Okay. Now I had never bought a property before that. I was all excited. And then a few people said things to me. And as I got closer to the closing, I got nervous. And I was like, oh my God, it needs a lot of work. It needs about $150,000 worth of work. And I started getting cold feet, and I got nervous, and I sold it to a friend of mine, Mike. Okay, Mike Rajay bought it. So Mike Rajay bought the property. I got cold feet. I sold it to him. I didn't own any other properties at the time. And he took care of it. He bought it. He bought it for $240. Okay. And he put $150 into it. But here's what I want to tell you though. This is the craziest part. At the closing table, okay, we're at the closing table. I could have bought the property. Mike's sitting there. He's as happy as they say, a pig in mud, right? And I'm as happy as a pig in mud too, because I'm getting my $14,000 commission, right? Because I'm the listing agent, and I'm getting both sides of the transaction. So I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm hitting it big time, right? For all you real estate agents out there, I'm getting both sides. I'm thinking, man, it don't get better than this. I was comfortable because of my fear. I didn't have to worry about buying this property. And here's the wild thing. So as we're recording this, 2023, in 2021, I looked at this property for Mike. Okay, now this property that he bought for $240. He put $150 into it. He put $390 into it. He was thinking about selling it. So we did an evaluation. This property that he bought for $390 is now worth $800,000. I want you to think about that. And it's probably worth more now, to be honest with you. It's probably worth $850 right now. Worth $800. And here's the even better part. He's collected over $20,000 a year in rent every single year since then. So at that closing that I'm going to bring you back to, that was sitting at the closing table, he's happy smiling. I'm happy smiling. He made over almost $600,000 on the exact same closing at the exact same table at the exact same signing that I made $14,000 as a real estate agent. Think about that, on the exact same transaction. You know what I said? Never again, man. Never again. Now we own a 24 unit. We've owned a couple properties, sold them. Never again, man. I will not do that. I will not let fear prevent me from getting to the next level. But listen, that's what we do. Sometimes we learn, right? Sometimes we win, and sometimes we learn. And that's why I wanted to share that story, because it's one of my, I don't want to say it's one of my favorite stories. It's one of my lessons, right? So Glenn, I want you to talk about, because and I'll tell you why we say this too, because we have an opportunity for you guys, and some of you guys are going to say, well, I don't know about this. Oh gosh, this is, oh, that's expensive, or it's this, or I don't know. Like, we have all the excuses in the world why we can't do what we want to do. And then we end up passing on it, and we're in the exact same place. And then other people take advantage of it and go way by us, which is exactly what happened in this case with Mike. And Mike was like, after meeting with him, I'm trying to at least get him to sell the building, Glenn, so that I can at least earn another commission on it, and say, maybe now I made it, maybe I've earned 30,000 now on the same transaction. But he's like, nah, man, I just can't sell it. He's like, I can't sell it, man. It's doing
I don't
too
blame
good.
him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. But you see, he had the right information to operate and made all that money towards the time. And that's the right information that we're bringing to you guys for your marketing, for your business. When you have the right information and you take the right amount of action, you will get massive results with the right information.
So talk to us, Glenn. Here, I want to bring you back to this slide real quick, and then we're going to open it up for questions.
Let's do it. I mean, all we're offering right here is a solution that you need for your business. So if you are a business owner, if you're an employee, if you're an entrepreneur, and you feel like you stop trying to figure it out, what's not working in your business, we can help you with that. If you feel overwhelmed by the amount of information available online and you don't know which way to go and how to apply it, we can help you with that. If you're tired of seeing your hard efforts fail to produce results, we can help you with that. If you're tired of doing your own marketing and getting no results, we can help you with that. The last one that I have, if you're ready to put an end on your sales and marketing woes and eventually propel your company to success and be omnipresent and get all the results that you want, we can help you with that. And that's the opportunity that we're bringing to you here today.
Amen, brother. All right. I do want to open it up for questions now. So let's see who has some questions. We'd love to get your questions. So let me stop share for a minute, and you guys are welcome to come off mic and ask any questions you have, or if you just come off mic, or if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. You can just put your questions right in the chat. So what questions do we have? Well, I'll tell you one of the questions, Glenn, that I get a lot is, well, you know what, I really, I'm kind of interested in, what you guys are up to and what you guys have. So how do I get more information on that? A couple of things, number one is, Glenn and I do these webinars every week for free. So we're here doing that. We also do stuff on Clubhouse. But we also have, one-on-one coaching. We one-on-one coach clients. We do events. There's a lot of things that we can get you guys access to. We also have a couple of really cool workshops coming up that we're gonna talk to you as well about. But again, I just want to one more time before we end, bring you guys to our offer. I'd love to know if anybody has any questions. So, okay, well, listen, then here's what we'll do. Appreciate that. And we have an offer coming up. We have an opportunity on April 11th and 12th. We're going to be doing the marketing execution workshop. And we're going to be giving you the February recording package right now for people that sign up today. This is, you're going to get the VIP for $14.97. Okay. The VIP gives you, so here's the wildest thing about this offer, Glenn, and you can talk about it too, is we're actually going to build a custom two-step funnel.
Yep.
Okay. But this is only for people, like if you go to the site, it's $2,000 on the site. This is for people that take action right now. We're going to give you the recordings from the February, so you don't have to wait till April 11th and 12th to start your training. You can start training now because you can get the full recording package, and we're going to build a two-step funnel for everybody. Yep. So Glenn, you want to say anything about this?
Absolutely. I mean, this is like this same workshop. You could go buy it for $5,000 or $6,000 from Grant directly. We only bringing it to you for $14.97. Me personally, outside of the workshop, I charge $2,500 for a two-step landing page, and you're able to get your two-step landing page. You get 2 coaching calls with me and David personally, and you get the workshop, and you get the recordings. Plus, you're gonna learn so much more than just what we talked about here for only $14.97. This is a gift that we're giving you guys.
Well, and the reason we're doing it is because we know that we're like, just like we talked about earlier, we're looking to build trust, we're looking to build relationship, and then we know when we do this, you guys are going to continue working with us. Again, go try to have a decent, you can go have a funnel built for $500. Trust me, I already know. But you're not going to have, it's not going to be close to the same level. It's not going to be thought out, and you're not going to get the additional coaching calls or the training. So when how Glenn and I first met is Glenn built a funnel for me. I paid him $1,500 to build me a funnel. And the more we engaged and interacted, I said, wow, this guy's a really, really good guy. He compliments me because me building funnels is not one of my strengths by any means. And so we decided to partner up together. So we're looking for relationships, and we're looking for case studies, to be honest with you, people that we can show, hey, we helped you blow up your business. So again, I'm going to give one more opportunity for anybody. Does anybody have any questions? But I'll put this up one more time. I'd love to know if there's any questions. And let me see in the chat. Glenn, did we look in the chat? I see Rob says cash is king. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, love that. Amen. Cash is king. And, you know, fear is not king, right? So that was me. I was fearful back then. I had never bought a property like that. I was nervous. I was settled. I settled for the $14,000 real estate commission, which I was happy with, by the way, at the time. See, I didn't know at the time. At the time, I thought I made the best decision for myself. Now, you know, 10 years later, I realized, wow, I got 14K. I would have had over $500,000 right now if I would have went the other direction. So, you know, they always say is hindsight's always 2020. All right. Well, listen, Glenn, any final thoughts for everybody?
Yes, man. I want to just address something that Reynaldo said about Macho Camacho. David, you were a boxer, man, back in the day. Macho Camacho, one of the greatest boxers ever existed from Puerto Rico. So I do know Macho Camacho, Reynaldo. Nobody ever told me that, but you know, I take it as a compliment. He was a very well successful guy, a champion in the world. So I'll take that as a compliment. So thank you. Also, Ruben, he asked, how many times do you post content per day and how do you schedule it out? I mean, we're giving you a content scheduler when you go into the workshop. And this is actually Grant Cardone's scheduler. So he tells you at what time to post, what time to send emails, what time to go live, what time to do your stories, and so and so. So me personally, minimum 3 to 4 times per day on each platform, minimum. And sometimes we even went 45 times a day. We can ask David, you know, he knows that. So it depends how much you desire to get those results. The more you put, the more you're gonna get. The more you do, the more reach you're gonna get. The more data you're gonna have available to see what is that you're gonna do with your business.
Yeah, same thing. I'm 4 times a day right now. We're focused on that. So I do a really early post, 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. Those are the times. If you research it, they say those are typically the best times to post. So we're hitting at it on Saturdays. It's usually 3 times, and Sundays usually just twice. And then I always do like a Christian, because I'm a Christian. So I do some type of a religious thing in the morning, and I kind of take it easy on Sunday. So that's kind of and I use a tool called Loomly. You can write this down, Loomly. I love it. So all my posts are happening the day before. I know some people go plan out the whole week. That's awesome. Me, I plan out usually the first half of the next day. So now when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to deal with posting stuff. I can get into my morning routine. All my posts are already set up the night before. And then in the afternoon, I'll do some freestyle posting and stuff like that. Hey, I like that freestyle posting. I'm making stuff up.
I love that.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys being here today. Yes, Loomly. Thank you. Okay. Well, listen, appreciate you guys. Again, let me just pop that up for people that are popping in after. You can take advantage of the VIP, the $2,000 package right now for $14.97. Plus, you can get the recordings and the additional 2 calls with Glenn and I. And that's it, Glenn, man. Just say another successful webinar, bro. Appreciate you. And
yeah, man, let's do it.
Hope you have a great rest of your
Thank you
day,
guys for
everybody. Thanks
joining.
for being here.
Don't listen. Just want to leave you with this before we go. Sometimes we desire something, and we desire so much, and we attract that to us, right? So you here today with a purpose. You attracted this to yourself. So if the opportunity came to you, don't let it pass by.
Amen.